Then host that. Let's wait 1 or 2 more minutes for the participants to join, and then we will start. Is that okay? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Oh, yeah, I've been trying to speak up. Yeah. I think we can start.
Yeah, that is fine. It is okay with me.
Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. Once again, welcome to another episode of the SkillActz Industry Connect series. The regulars here might already know. First of all, to introduce ourselves, SkillActz, an online platform for freshers. We help our youngsters to help to get their first job. On the other side, we also help companies to acquire fresh talent. So that is what we do as a business. But at the same time, we are also driven by our mission to enhance employability and transform careers of our young people. So as part of going forward with that mission, and it aligns well with what we do as a business. So we are always excited to bring more opportunities for our youngsters to learn about industry and understand about the trends, which will also help them to prepare better for the world of work. So today I think we have the very appropriate person for it, Mr. Arun Alex. So I say appropriate person because throughout his career he has straddled both academia and industry. So he started out as a business analyst at Ernst and Young, and later has worked in some of the leading startups of those days, like Rain Control Technologies and Qbus Technologies. He also later switched to academia. He worked as a placement officer in the Asian School of Business and also at Median Engineering College. And then one of the key roles he played was in the industry attachment cell at the Abdul Kalam Technology University, where again he had initiated a lot of things to improve the industry academia collaboration, including helping with the recently announced internship program for students. He and also placements, single window consultancy projects for involving faculty and the industry. So various such initiatives. He is currently leading the talent acquisition function at Nissan Digital India, which is the technology arm of the leading car maker. So that is a lot of different functions which straddle both, like I said, both industry and in the academic world. So I think we have the right person. So let me warmly welcome you, Mr. Arun Alex, to this function. Happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Let me also extend welcome to all the participants. So let us begin. I think we will get straight into the session by Mr. Arun Alex. So please take over.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, let me just share my screen. 1 second. So is my screen viewable for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So essentially, how to land in your dream job, especially during the tough times. So topic might seem to be quite interesting, but yes, I can share some tips on these as we proceed. So so these are some of the brands which probably might be let's say dream companies for many of the youngsters, automakers, airlines, social media giants, Microsoft, Tesla, etc. So yeah, so a brief about me. Yeah, so so the first point is, yes, I have gone through series of failures in life, but I've always been very optimistic, and I've risen from failures. So I started my career in industry, then academia, then back to industry. So these are the colleges where I studied. These are the companies where I worked in industry. Then again, academia where I worked, and now back to Nissan. So yes, tasted series of failures in the sense like when I did my schooling after the engineering entrance, I was I would like to say that I didn't get admission in Kerala at that point of time at all. So very few colleges were there at that point of time. I didn't I probably would have got admission in branches which I was least interested in. But yeah, the fact is that I didn't get admission here. So I had to do engineering from a place which probably would be lesser known to each one of you. It is in Tamil Nadu, a place which is close to Shivagashi. So Shivagashi is known for cracker manufacturing. So it is probably 2 hours from there. So it's a village called Srivilliputur. So for me, I've been born, brought up in Trivandrum. So all of a sudden, from a city life um, to a village was quite. It was quite a challenging and daunting time. So because see, climate wise, it was very unfavorable to me. The food was very unfavorable in the sense like it was almost fully vegetarian food. Yeah, language was different. The food, the climate, the friend circle. So everything was sort of all odds were against me. But yes, I was able to complete my engineering, thankfully, by and then did my MTech and MBA as well. So MTech from PSG College of Technology and MBA from CUSAT. So so the experience in my engineering. So in fact, it was most testing time in my life. But the good part is that see, I was able to make some friends which is lasting even today, much more than the friend circle that I've been able to make in my school life. Yes, this is something which I treasure in my engineering days. And the things that it taught me in terms of sharing things, in terms of helping others, in terms of moving ahead even during the difficult times. So this helped me very much in my life at PSG, because PSG was totally different life. It is probably more like Coimbatore was more a vibrant place than Trivandrum. So a lot of friends, and most of them were they were owning family businesses, paper mills, textile mills, etc. And CUSAT again was a totally different experience. So this is about my education and the first job. Again, when I tell about my first job, see, I never got placement in campus. So I did my masters from PSG. I was looking for a placement, but I didn't get placement at all at PSG. Let me and I was My friends would say that even though academically I was not bright, but they all had some expectation that I would probably get placed in at least in 5 days of placement, but I didn't get placed in college. So I landed up in EY with my own effort, uh, in my dream job, in a dream profile. So as a business analyst. And I worked in EY for around 3 years. And from EY, I went to a company called Rain Concert Technology, which was more of a startup. So Rain Concert, QBurst at that point of time were all startups. So EY was an established company. So from a comfort of established company, I was able to take a risk and move to Rain Concert and then QBurst. And after QBurst, I did my MBA and then joined Asian School of Business. I really wanted to come back to industry after my MBA, but you would be knowing. See, it is very difficult to come back to industry after you have a break. So that is why, since there was no all options were unfavorable to me, I had to choose. I would rather say that I had to opt for academia related positions as a placement officer, with Asian School of Business, then with Marine Engineering College, and then with Kerala Technology University. But then, and very seldom do you see people moving from academia to industry. But yes, I was again been able to move back to industry, and that too with a major brand. So my family, I have 4 kids. 1 year, then 6 years, 8 years, and 11 years. So I stay in Trivandrum. So yeah, coming back to our topic. So dream job. So what exactly is a dream job? So essentially, dream job is something where your passion, your career, and your talent intersects. So passion is something that you love doing, and talent is something that, yeah, you are good in doing, and career is where you are paid to do something. So this intersection point is your dream job. So it might be, your passion might be something like singing, and you might be good in singing, but if you are able to get a career related to singing, then yes, it matches all your needs. So this is the dream job. So it combines your passion, the talent, and career in a manner that you find you find true happiness and fulfillment in life. So the point is that, see, how to be unique in life. So yes, the competition is very huge, and it probably is that 1% difference that makes you stand out from the competition. So how do you begin your journey in reaching your dream job? First, it is more of a self awareness. You need to understand, so essentially, your personality, what type of a person you are, your traits, your behavior, mm, um, your passion. What are you passionate in life? What are the skills that you have? Everyone has a unique personalities. Everyone will have some passion in life. It may not be related to the course you do, but yes, you would surely have some passion. Skills as well, yes, you would have some unique skills that are really unique to you. And similarly with your talents and your strengths and weakness. So so the first thing before you start the journey is that you need to identify all these characteristics in you before you start the journey. But very often what we do is that we start the journey, then we try to understand our passion or skills, our uniqueness, and which is why most of us don't land in your dream job. So so before so once we are done with this, let's say personality wise you're clear, passion wise you're clear, uh, then yes, that makes that gives you the confidence to start the journey. So if I am to explain about this myself, see, um, so the passion, see, I'm I'm a type of person who like to meet people, who like to do new things in life, who does not want to be constrained to a repetitive task in life. And I love taking risks in life, some calculated risks in life, and I'm passionate in my area of work. So be it business analysis, be it recruitment, and I like to I don't like to go by the default manner. I like to bring changes. I like to bring new energy into things. And skills that I have is connecting with people, networking, and some of them are my natural ability. And uniqueness that I bring is that yes, I have an engineering, an MTech, and an MBA. I have worked in multiple, I mean, both in industry and academia, and yes, all of which are my strengths. And yes, there are weakness in the sense even after engineering, I may not be good in technical coding, or I may not be good in user interface or user experience level things. So 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 these are the things. So essentially these were the things which helped me land in my first job at EY. And again, These were the characteristics which helped me come back to industry from academia. So where to start would be the first question. So I would say that your resume is the area from which you need to start the journey of finding your dream job. And and as I've mentioned, your resume is the marketing material. It's the pitch that you can make to your prospective employer or somebody who is willing to pay for your skills and competencies. And job seeker, as a job seeker, each one of you is a finished product in, and your employer or a prospective employer would be the person or the company which would buy that product. And a typical resume has less than 20 seconds to grab the attention of any HR. And believe me, well written resumes can do miracles, because see, even in my current role as a talent acquisition leader at Nissan, for a given position we get hundreds of resumes. And see, there have been cases where we might have rejected resumes because it contained too many unwanted information, or they are not well formatted, or information given is not clear. And there have been cases where, and so what we are looking is that we are looking at resumes which are really smart, which are up to the point, where information is precise, simple, well presented, and which really makes a difference to a job, to an employer. So coming back to the same, as I've told you in the beginning, right? So see, after my college days, I never got any job through campus hiring or campus placement. So I have not done a root cause analysis, but then after that I tried really best in terms of creating the resumes and preparing. So here in this case, so EY as a company was never my dream employer, but business analysis or business analyst was one of my dream profile. So so in my college days, none of my batchmates got a job as a business analyst, and I was the only one to get the position as a business analyst. So it was probably one of these characteristics which helped me land a dream, I would say a dream profile in a good company, or in one of the biggest consulting firms. So so definitely resume did play a part, because see, it was an open hiring and a lot of people would have applied. And my resume for some reason was able to stand out, or was able to grab the attention of the HR at that point of time. So yes, this, the last point that I have mentioned, yes, this really has done a miracle. And it was not just here alone, in EY alone. See, as I've told you, see, in India, it is very difficult to go to make a career transition from the academia to industry. So this transition, if this has happened, this was again due to my resume and the self-awareness that I've been able to understand. So let me come to the point of organizing the resumes. So the first thing is that, see, you need to invest your time in creating a resume. So most often what students do is that you copy paste resume from one of your friends. So, and that copy pasting culture is so rampant that I've seen cases even in my current company that they don't change their they miss to change their date of birth and gender. So uh, so so uh, so that that probably won't create a first impression at all. So, and you need to list your experience, skills and competencies very, very clearly. So there is no point beating around the bush in a resume, because whatever you put in your resume would be the questions that you get in your interview. So, so that needs to be very clear. And the achievements that you have, you need to list it using some action verbs, clear action verbs for listing your achievement. So let me give an example. Um, so while I was working with one academic institution, we had one company. It is one among the mass recruiters in Kerala coming for recruitment, and we had this student who who was one of the toppers in class, and he's from mechanical engineering. Let me be clear: mechanical engineering, one of the toppers with no backlogs. And he cleared the first round was, I think, aptitude, then technically cleared those round, and it was interview. And in interview his resume was sort of, I mean, nothing was clear. Yes, it was more like um, everything, jack of all trades, but nothing substantially clear. And he was trying to sort of make the recruiter feel that he is the best, and his area of expertise is probably, there is no common ground or common questions that recruiter or the recruitment team can ask him, because his resume was full, completely mechanical. And the recruiter who had come to hire him or interview him was from a non-mechanical domain, or from some other branch of engineering. So so finally the recruiter asked one simple question. So this question is like this: does a diesel engine, or does a car, bus, do buses have a carburetor or not? So he thought for a while, and he said, yes, all buses have carburetor. All buses have carburetor. And so the recruiter was quite astonished. He gave him a piece of paper, asked him to draw exactly where the carburetor is located. And the funniest part is that the student drew that. So see, and I was quite, so that is quite strange. See, a mechanical student who is one among the toppers, and he is saying that buses have carburetor. Had this answer come from some other branch, I mean, that would have been forgiven. But so these are the fundamental things. See, as I've told you, resume is full of mechanical concepts, mechanical things, mechanic competencies in mechanical areas. But this is the foundation. So that foundation itself is not clear. So whatever you write, so that would be the questions that you ask. So this student had written only mechanical domain related things in the resume, and he got only those questions, and the basic foundational knowledge he was not able to answer correctly. And your resume needs to be neat and simple. See, even now I am getting resumes from lateral candidate, people with experience, which is not even formatted properly, and we dumped that resume literally, even though that candidate might have been really great candidate. And yeah, see, and typos, spelling mistakes. See, now everything is automated. You just need to run a spell checker, you get the errors, but even that thing is not done by most of the students. And yes, exaggeration in resume is very high. As I've told you, copy paste practice is still. We recently went to a college for intern hiring, and all students, I think 30 students applied, all 30 are having the same resume. And some cases, the student has changed the name in the top, but bottom side, or the footer, the name has not been changed, the gender has not been changed. So these are some things that probably if let's say if you're able to give invest some time, you can create really good resumes. So the first thing is that yes, invest some time, do some research. um, see with internet, you all that requires is some time. You can get copies of resumes. You don't have to imagine things. I think when I was a student, I never had the luxury of getting samples of resumes through the internet at that point of time, at least in my first job. And yes, you need to seek help. See, now the only help that I'm seeing is that this help is sought for copying and pasting the resumes. Hmm. So in short, see your resume. When your resume should be the answer for the vacancy that an employer has created. So if it becomes the answer, then yes, there is a very high probability that you will be hired. So I hope this is clear. And one thing that I also want to say is that, see, um, we get resumes from students, and 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 more than the content in the resume, the photo is larger. So it is one half page, it is photograph, and and another half is the resume content. So I would say that there is no need for a photograph at all in your resume. Your resume should be filled with your competencies, your skills, your achievements, and things like that. And photograph is required only if, let's say, at a later point of time, if you're selected. So yeah, so how do you leverage social media? So this is something which probably is very relevant today. So probably before I come to leveraging social media, so one thing that I missed to put in this PPT is the attitudinal shift in students. So when I did my engineering, like as I've told you, it is from a university called Kalaslingam University. So when I did my engineering, it was a college, but now once I graduated, it has become a university. Today, it is NIRF, one among the top listed within, I think, rank 50 or 80 in NIRF for engineering universities. So, so the point I wanted to tell you is that uh, so when I went for this engineering, right? So classes were from, if I'm not mistaken, classes were from somewhere around, I think, 8:30 or 9 till evening 4 p.m. So I stayed in hostel along with my batchmates. So the culture there was that, see, 4 p.m. classes ends, everyone goes back to hostel, have a cup of tea, and then people go to library or to lab, and labs were open till I think somewhere around 11 or 12. And that was the culture there. So everyone, I mean, it was not a big college, it was a very small college in a very rural remote village, and that was the culture there. Daily after 4 p.m., people have a cup of tea, go to library or to lab, computer lab. And at that point of time, we never had free internet. I mean, internet was not there at all. So it is, most people went there for programming, to brush their skills in programming and things like that. So which is, see, I was a person who always go to bed in the early and wake up in the early. So culturally it was like that. So then I also changed my habits in that level. But so the thing here is that, and similarly in PSG as well. So when I was in PSG as well, it was the same culture. I mean, when students after college, they went to lab, sat there for till midnight, and some even slept in lab. But sadly I don't see that culture. See, after that I've come back to Kerala. I worked in colleges in Kerala, I worked in university, but sadly I've never seen that culture anywhere in our institutions in Kerala at all. It's 4 p.m. college leaves and the buses are full with students and then they go home. And only time that I have seen students passionately staying back after 4 p.m. till midnight was for doing some preparations for the tech fest or during the tech fest time. That was the only time that I've seen. Otherwise, yes, 4 p.m. That's the end. So and similarly, so even now, see, I interact with universities outside state even now, and I've been to a couple of universities recently. So that culture is still there. I mean, there are a lot of students who stay in hostel. At least they go to, their labs are open, library is open, they utilize these labs. And most of them do some upskilling in Udemy or some other MOOC platform. um, so that upskilling they do, and they don't do it only for a credit points. They do it to gain the knowledge. So credit points is might be one among the takeaways, but here what I've seen in my life in academy is that if you offer credit points, yes, students will come. But I think that is a wrong philosophy. Credit points can be, or credit or an activity point. It is not credit, it's activity. So activity point can be one among the outcome. But sadly, in our state, activity point is the only one and only reason why people come forward. That is what I have seen. If at all it has changed, that culturally that change has come or not, I'm not sure. So coming to social media, so again, social media, yeah, people are good in sharing news, contents, and things like that. But I am not sure if students are leveraging on the power of social media on a positive manner. So, in terms of following channels of companies or groups of companies, or in LinkedIn, the company groups, and so if I am to look at the channels that our students are following, I think most of them would be, let's say, their heroes, cine stars, and things like that. All those are good. It is not that they are not good, but then I rarely see most of them following companies or let's say skills or similar related professional organization. Very few of them do. Like I've seen few students who are following Computer Society of India, IEEE, but that that population is not big enough. That is the point. And you need to connect with leaders in companies in social media and engage in a healthy and intellectual conversation. So I get a lot of requests in LinkedIn, requesting for connection, asking me to connect from various students, but I accept the request, but then there is no conversation at all. So I think some conversation needs some intellectual conversation. So or anything related to the business can be, it is good to be engaged in such conversation. So so on this, let me say that so the jobs that I have got, so as I've come back to my first slide. So from Ernst and Young onwards, I think, or from Rain Concert, I don't clearly remember. It was either at the, either QBurst onwards. Most of the jobs I have got is totally through some connections through LinkedIn. Yeah, QBurst, yes. Asian School of Business, yes. Marian Engineering College, yes. Then Nissan as well, it is, yes. So it is not just connecting and sitting idle, it is connecting and engaging in a healthy and intellectual conversation. and you need to post regularly in social media on your area of interest or passion. Music might be your area of interest, fine. So I would request that you post some content related to music, related to your intellectual area, or not intellectual, to your area of interest, so that people come to know that yes, this might be the person that I might be looking for. So this is quite important. Um, so instead of using Facebook just for sharing, liking, and things like that, let's try to use it in a way that would bring more returns in the future. So similarly, uh, intellectual platforms, or this may not be intellectual as such, but technical platforms like GitHub, Discord, HackerEarth, there was few of them. These are again some of the platforms which can surely help you stand out. That 1% that I have mentioned. See, competition is very huge. Now, what is that 1% that you have that can help you stand out? So this is where these are the things that can help you in that. So if you look at GitHub, it is a repository where in which you can push your code, you can get it reviewed. Not just code, it can also be some requirements that you have mentioned, some architectural level, some code which can be reviewed. You get feedback and things like that. Again, Discord is another channel where you can engage with a wider audience. Hacker Earth, you can showcase your technical competency in arriving at a solution to problem statements of companies, and similarly DevPost. So when you look at the the phase before COVID, that is, while I think you are more, each one of you are coming after the COVID phase, but pre-COVID, the thing is that, see, your your, let's say, your first job, uh, or let's say the job that you land initially would be determined by how good your college is, or how better ranked your college is. If your college is highly ranked, then yes, you arrive at a really good company. If you're by any chance, if you're not from a top graded college, then you may not get a job at all in one of the top companies. That was how it was pre COVID. But now, irrespective of the ranking of your college, each one of you have access to companies which earlier used to hire only from the tier 1 colleges. So that, which is really good. So now so now that accessibility is there, let's say a student from a very small college in a very rural area can also compete with a student from, let's say, IIT Madras or IIT Delhi for an opening in one of the investment bankers, or with companies like Volkswagen or Mercedes Benz or things like that. So that opportunity is now there, so which is really good. So earlier, I didn't get that opportunity. None of my batchmates got that opportunity, and so that is something which is really good. So, let me come to the. So I hope this is quite clear. So the point I wanted to tell you is that you should create an account in each one of this. It should not be limited to creating an account, but you should start pushing, publishing your code, or taking part in hackathon, and all those need to be mentioned in your resume in terms of skills or competency, or in terms of your achievements. So this is where it is very, very important. So a brief example that I can share with you is that, so while I was working with this Marian Engineering College as a placement officer, there was one student in computer science. So she was from a very humble background. Parents, I would say, from a very poor background, and probably the only member in her family who went for a formal education. After 12th, she had to work in a textile shop as a sales girl because her father was not keeping well. So, so that student, I still remember, she got admission in computer science in Marine Engineering College in merit seat, and she spoke English quite fluently. So initially, when I met her, I thought like she's from a well-to-do family, and it was later that I came to know about her. And one day, I think in one of the days where I stayed back, I had to stay back after college hours. She came to me with her resume asking me if I can get it reviewed. So I was quite surprised. Her resume was full of achievements or experience or things that she has done in essentially on these platforms, GitHub, and I think it was primarily GitHub and Discord. So in none of the other batchmates in the college, I was never been able to see such a resume. And it was more like a resume of somebody who has a lateral experience. And she got job in the day one itself. And yeah, I think currently she is in Australia, and I'm really happy about her. So that is an example where I have mentioned that I think I have mentioned somewhere that your resume would definitely do miracles. Yeah, a well written resume can do miracles. So that is when I realized that fact. And believe me, till date, I've never seen such a impressive resume from either from freshers or from neither from freshers or from experienced hires. So yeah, so winning job interview. So your resume is impressive. You have cleared. I mean, you have been shortlisted for interview. You've cleared the technical rounds or aptitude rounds, and now is the job interview. So what I have seen is that this is the area where most of the applicants gets rejected. So so idea in job interview is that, see, it is ideally for both parties, for the company and the job seeker, to explore how fit mutually they would be. So that is the purpose of interview, ultimately. And an interview is the biggest opportunity to sort of impress your potential employer, and to give them the confidence in your skills, competency, and in yourself. So there is the need for good amount of preparation, research, and because see so you need to create an unique impression about yourself in the interview. So in the sense, you need to show the interviewer your personal brand. What is you? What is so special about you? Or what is so unique about you? That impression needs to set in. It is not that you're superior to anyone, or not that you're inferior to someone, but what is special in you, or what is unique in you. And and you need to have the star framework. So very often, like that the interviewer might ask you, like, give me an example where you have failed but bounced back. So you need to articulate it clearly. You need to give them the situation, clear situation. What was the task that you were doing? What action you took, remedial action you took, and what is the result or the outcome. So you need to be very, very specific on that. So even now, when I interview candidates with 10 plus or 15 plus years of experience, answers are not precise. They give me long answers, and it's like it's almost like going into a sleeping mode. So this needs so the thing is that, see, we are looking at smart people. We are not looking at people who probably might be intellectually very bright, who are top coders, or who are rock stars. So we want people who can be groomed as a rock star. We don't see, honestly speaking, we don't want rock stars. We want people who can be groomed as a rock star. So attitudinally, you should be okay, and personality wise, you should gel with our culture, and learnability also, you should be good in that. So yeah, a couple of more slides. Yeah, let's laugh. Yeah, so a couple of things. So in your resume, so just to see, before you embark on your resume, so see, it is in the engineering life, you need to do a couple of things which probably will help you to stand out with the compared to the competition. So do you have any patents? Have you filed any patents? Okay, getting patents might be time consuming, but have you filed any patents? So these are some things that we look when we hire students. So do you have a startup company? So do you have a startup mindset? So do you have a mindset where you can work with little or no resources and scale up? And do you have the mindset to grow? And are you actively participating in competitions? And when I say competition, it is not just technical competition, it's arts and arts related competition, non-technical competition, and things like that. So because that shows that how active you are. And do you publish projects? So okay, you have done some projects, even projects. See, how serious are you about the projects that you do in your college life? Are you just doing projects for the sake of a BTech degree, or are you really doing projects out of a passion? Are you taking areas which you're passionate enough? And do you have a really strong GitHub presence? And if not, yes, that is somewhere you need to do. And and see, see, when I visited an engineering college recently, a couple of students came to me saying that they have a YouTube channel, so which is good enough, but they have fairly good number of subscribers, likes, posts, reposts, etc., etc. But see, all these are related to, let's say, some are related to travel, some are related to food, some are related to entertainment. But I've not seen any YouTube channel by a student where they publish, or where they publish projects that their friends are doing. So that needs to come. See, why can't you create a YouTube channel where you mention the projects that you're doing, or the or let's say, or the hackathons, the hackathon competitions that are available, or hackathons that you have participated, your feedback on that. So I've not encountered any such YouTube channel. So yes, if you can do that, yes, that creates that uniqueness in you. And so now, once all these and many more would be there, now you need to ensure that finding a full-time job itself is a job. You need to go with that mindset, and you need to work for that. So you apply at 100 places, you may not get a call at all, but you shouldn't lose hope. You should still apply and apply. So when I applied frantically for a job, first job after my PG in PSG, um, I think I would have applied to all companies in Technopark. Um, so I come to Trivandrum. I think 2 or 3 days. I used to go to each and every company and used to give my resumes there. Then I used to call these companies. I'm sure that none of them would have passed on my resume to higher levels. And I used to call the HR managers, talk to them, what is the status. But I never got any response. But somewhere I called EY, I spoke to the right HR at the right time, and she was handling the BA hiring, and that was the most appropriate time. And immediately I had this interview fixed. I had the interview and I got the job. So, so if I were to get disheartened, I probably wouldn't have. And in the same company, EY itself, I had applied. When they're given the resume, I would have spoken to a couple of people, couple of other HRs in EY, but this particular day, on that particular day, at the right time, right person, I spoke, and yes, it helped. So you need to stay positive. You apply to 100 places, you may not get any call at all, but keep applying, move forward. You need to do internships. So recently, I got a resume of a student who is doing, I think, BTech outside the state, but in these 4 years, he has done around 6 to 8 internship, out of which 2 are full time, physical, remaining are virtual. And you need to volunteer for tasks. So this is again one area. So when I did my engineering, whenever placement comes, I used to go and volunteer, not just placements, even for anything and everything in the campus. But I'm not sure, because when I was working here in one college for social activities, we don't get any volunteers. But that you need to come. That is one area where your skills can be used for a societal good, and which you can leverage in finding a dream job. And you need to upskill regularly, you need to learn new things. Even if you land in a job, you need to ensure that that learning continues. Even today, I need to keep learning, else I might get outdated. Not I might, I will surely get outdated. So um, and see, conferences and meeting. So when I did my, see, I'm the reason why I'm telling my example is so that you get a better picture. So when I did my engineering, we used to go to conferences regularly. So there was always some discounts available for students. Let's say if 100 rupees was the conference registration fee, for students it would have been 50. So I used to travel a lot. I've gone to, in my engineering days, to Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, just for attending conferences or workshops. It is industry conferences. And believe me, in one of the conferences, I don't remember where it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was in Tidal Park in Chennai. One of the conferences, I was able to meet somebody from a company called ICICI Infotech. I'm not sure if it is there now. It was part of ICICI Bank, and I was offered a position. And he was a senior manager there, and I was offered a position there. That was in Chennai. So that happened. So it is not that going to conference and sitting idle. See, after a presentation, you will get an opportunity to ask questions. Please ask questions. The person who asks first question always gets the first impression, maximum eyeball, and meaningful opportunities. So that was one way I got this opportunity. And see, even now in Trivandrum, I think tomorrow there is some conference, some similar conference happening related to bioinformatics, and we have a huge number of happening in, not be Trivandrum, in Kochi, Coimbatore, everywhere it is happening. So please take time and go for it. You meet people, you network with them, connect with them, engage in meaningful discussion. Yes, and surely you will get some opportunities out of that. And yes, please participate in hackathon, some part-time work. So um, so while I think in during my masters, I used to work for a company in Coimbatore without any payment. So they said that we cannot give you any money, but if you want, you can come. But then that really helped me understand the how the industry is at that point of time. And you need to create a portfolio of things that you, why not a website where you mention who you are, what are the things that you, why can't you create a website or an online resume which is hosted in your domain? And that would surely be a fantastic thing. So all these would finally help you land in your dream job. I'm sure that these ingredients, if you do it well, yes, you would surely uh, land in your dream job in life. And no matter whatever be your see, all odds may be against you, but still you would surely be able to land in your dream job. So before I conclude, this is my last slide. So let me come back to my example. So till QBurst, I was with industry. See, after QBurst, I did my um, MTech. So after my MTech, I was not able to. I applied to n number of companies in Trivandrum, in Cochin, in Chennai, in Bangalore. I did not get any opportunity back in industry. And Asian. So then I had to say I need to survive. So and so fine. I got an opportunity in academia. Then I continued there. But always I dreamt about coming back to industry, but it never happened. And I had I had sort of given my hope. I was persistent, and I applied to multiple companies, connected with a lot of people, but it didn't work. And everything was unfavorable to me. People were not willing to hire me as a business analyst any longer because there is a huge gap. People were not willing to hire me as an HR because I don't have any prior experience. But see, again, it is again meeting the right person in the sun at the right time, in the right manner, and I was able to give them assurance about my competency. So see, in my life, what I've seen is that, see, I didn't want to be negative, but this is the reality. See, most of my life, all odds were against me. But yes, you can say maybe by not maybe, but surely by God's grace and the effort that you have put in, yeah, I was able to make things favorable even during the tough times. So about Nissan Digital, if I am to say, while I was working with Marine Engineering College, I had visited Nissan. That was the time when Nissan came to Kerala, and I had visited Nissan. I think for a meeting there, and that was one of my dream companies. But I was quite certain that, see, there is no point dreaming about that. But then all of a sudden, consciously or unconsciously, the dream came true. I didn't pursue the dream per se, but I was persistent in my effort. And yes, I was following people, San, in LinkedIn. I've met them, and I was able to convince them about my competency. And yes, that is how I landed. That is how I landed in my dream job here. And even in KTU, see, um, I worked with a very small college, Marine Engineering College. One of the, it might be one of the popular, and might be one of the leading private. But then, see, KTU is a state university, is a government university, and there was no possibility of somebody from a private engineering college getting a position in one of the biggest universities in Kerala. There was no precedence at all. But again, my skills, my competency, and in the interview there were people much better than me. But somehow my skills, my competency, I was able to convince the interviewer, and yes, here. But again, from KTU also the same issue. I mean, going back from industry to academia, or from academia to industry, same issue. But then again, um, even though all odds were against me, I was able to withstand that and move forward in life. So the secret recipe is nothing much. It is all about being persistent in life. Yes, attending being network regularly. Even in my current job also, I try my level best to attend conferences, meeting, network with people, and move forward in life. I'm sorry for taking so much time. I had told the organizers that I only require 30 minutes, but I don't know how it took so long. So I would be happy to take any questions if you have. So any questions, anyone?
Participants are encouraged to ask questions. You can put it in the chat box.
Yeah, so this is one thing that I mentioned in my PPTs. See, um, it is good that you attend sessions, seminars, workshops, but see, somebody who asks questions, right? So that always, that memory always remains in the mind of the presenter. It is not just me, but anyone. So yeah, so if you have, see, I've gone, see, as I've told you, I didn't want to give a high impression about myself, but then I've gone through the pain. So I'm one among you, most of you. Um, so any questions, I might be able to help you. So I think I have a question. How did you manage to keep hope that one day dream job, even though you're not sure whether you will reach there or not? Okay. So yeah, so that is there in my, so that is one of the, as I've told in my sessions, right? It is more about your self awareness that is in my personality. So despite things against, all odds being against me, I really am persistent, and I'm optimistic that one day things will get to its conclusion. So how did it happen? I don't know. Even in the midst of uncertainty, I was hopeful, and that was the, and I was optimistic, and that was why I'm here now. So that is more of an innate skill. So again, how did it happen? Maybe my friend circle, maybe my family, all those would have contributed, and maybe, and yes, the faith in God, all these would have definitely contributed. Yeah, so probably one more thing I can say. See, the first job you get may not be your dream job. You may not get your dream, you may not land in your dream job initially, but that can help you move to your dream job. Because see, when I went to KTU, that was the time when COVID shutdown happened, lockdown happened. Everyone was working online, so there's nothing much I can. I mean, I didn't know what to do. Just go and sit there idle, because everyone was saying, "See, what is there for you to do? Go and sit there idle." But I don't like I don't like sitting idle. I like doing new things in life, and even during that time, I was able to have a lot of online connects or online sessions, some projects, online placement drives, and things like that. So 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 again, things can be unfavorable to you, but you need to find out how you can turn around things over a period of time. So any other questions? Or how to overcome failure from interview because it made me lose hope and I was zoned out. Okay. So see, if you have lost interview, just think that, losing interview can be due to multiple reasons. It might be due because you may not have been articulative, or you may not be the company. You may not be the right person for that company. So you don't have to be worried about it. See, you might have lost one interview, but there might be other interviews that would surely come with you. Because see, there are companies that rejected me, and I'm happy that they've rejected me. Else they, if they had accepted me, probably I might have been pushed out. So imagine like that. I mean, if they've rejected, fine, it is good. So yeah, so yeah, you don't have to be worried. So it happens in an interview. You lose, but fine. Yes, there will be avenues where you can bounce back. Okay, there are many misconceptions about resumes are filtered, with many believing that it's primarily done by AI. How can we stay motivated dealing with AI-based resume filtering systems? Okay, that is a really good question. So, see again, even with AI based, whatever be the filtering systems that are used, even if it is manual or automated, as long as your resume is up to the point with your skills, competencies, and your achievements, like as I've told you, using action verbs, you would surely you'd surely get a chance. Let's say you're applying for a for a Java position, but you are skilled in .NET. So don't expect yourself to be shortlisted for a Java interview because your skill set is .NET. But if you're .NET and your resume clearly highlights the factors that I have mentioned, then yes, that AI system will surely shortlist. And if that AI system is not shortlisting, that means that AI system itself needs to be replaced. As simple as that. So probably before, if there are no other question, one last suggestion that I would say is that all of you might be engineering students or other branches. If you can learn a foreign language while you are pursuing your degree, that would be it would be a great asset for you. Any foreign language, or preferably a foreign language which not many would opt for. So what I meant is, like, let's say languages like Spanish, um, then probably yeah, Japanese, Mandarin. So there is a huge demand for that even within the country, and those are niche positions. Okay, so Meera, I'm studying BSc Computer Science. Yeah, yes, Anand. Have we overshooted the time?
I think if there is another question, we can definitely take it. I was thinking maybe no.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll just close with this. Uh, so I'm not sure. I don't know where to start for interviews. So you're studying BSc Computer Science. So you need to you need to learn things beyond your syllabus. Yeah, identify your skill sets and start applying. Then yes, you will surely get calls. Yeah, I think that is it from my side, Anand. I'm sorry for exceeding the time. I thought initially it would be 30 minutes that I might have.
No, I think we had very good participation, and I think people were also listening in. So it's good that we took the time. So, arigato gozaimasu, Hakan-san, since you
Oh,
mentioned about.
okay. Us.
Sukoshi wakarimasu.
Dev Mata. So I'm
I think.
studying Japanese now. We have a course in office, so I'm studying that as well.
So I think we'll let Shadu to come in and do the honors, and then we'll find.
Good evening. On the behalf of SkillActz and everyone here, I would like to extend a heartwarming thank you to your guest, Mr. Arun Alex, lead talent acquisition at Nissan Digital India, for taking the time to share his insight with us. I also express my gratitude to Ms. Meena Nair and Mr. Anand for making this event possible, and to the SkillActz team for helping to organize this event. I am also very grateful to students and all others who are present here today for participating and making this an interactive session. Thank you all. The link for getting your participation certificate is posted in the comments. And if there are any friends of you who would not join, please let them know. The recording section will be available on our SkillActz YouTube channel. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you all, and thank you, Mr. Arunal. Thank you, Mr. Arun. So I think we'll catch up later.